Hey everybody, and welcome back to Autumn Leigh at Home. I'm Autumn Leigh. Today I'm going to bring you along to bin time. Bin time is just where a lot of the Amazon items that you return, they just go to stay. So this bin time building, or the owners, they get all of those items that you have returned, and I think they get them for, I don't really know how it works completely. I think they still pay for them, but they're very low prices because it just wasn't worth it for Amazon to ship them all the way back, or for the owners of the items to ship them all the way back. I don't really know how it works. So you kind of have to be careful. It's very hit or miss, but I go in with the general idea of like, I would love to find this, and this, if at all possible. You also have to be very careful if you're working on a budget like we are, that you don't overspend and come out with a ton of items. It's very miscellaneous. You can go on a fantastic day. You could go on a terrible day. So today, the day that I'm going, it used to be $6 per item. It may have bumped up to $8. I need to double check that. But what you do is you just literally dig through bins. It could be unopened packages, unopened boxes. You can't open it yourself. They have tables that the company will open them for you, and you can see what's inside them if you want to buy them. I've found PlayStation here before, and it was $6. Everything is $6. I didn't need a PlayStation, so I found another family and handed it to them, and they were very, very excited about it. But it's also returned items. So it could be because it was broken. You just never know if it's going to work. So it's very hit or miss. You kind of have to go with that mindset of, it's great if I find something. If not, it was kind of fun to browse. But today I have a couple of items that I know I have found here very easily in the past that I'm hoping to find today, that I'm starting my Christmas list for my kids. So I start early because, again, the more I can find deals on the items, the less I spend later on. It's just tricky because you don't want to go in and come out with things that you didn't actually plan to get, because then you're not saving money. But I wanted to bring you along, show you what it looks like. You're literally digging through a bunch of bins. It's a bunch of people. It's very chaos. It's organized chaos is what it is. There's no rhyme or reason to any of it. You could go on a day and it's all Dollar General stuff or Dollar Tree stuff that if you go to the store, you could pay $1 for it. But if you buy it here, it's $6. Or you could go in, find a cell phone, find PlayStation like I did, find an iPad. You just never know. It's very hit or miss. So come on with me and we'll go ahead and see what we can find. I know I mentioned that I found a PlayStation, but I wanted to be completely transparent with you guys. The PlayStation was older, but again, how can you beat $6? It was a PlayStation, and I know that that family is really going to enjoy it. And so that's just kind of in general what you find here. Some of the things are gently used, open, and then they realize they didn't want it and then sent back. Some of them are completely brand new. Nobody touched it. They just realized they didn't want it, and I guess was sent it back. You just never know. I would say about 99% of the items here just were never really even opened, or if they opened it, they immediately sent it back to Amazon. It wasn't like they actually used it, but just to kind of be aware that it could have been used prior to it being sent back at some point. So just keep that in mind, keep it in the back of your head. I do want to also mention that these people do not play. When you come, you typically try to arrive early before the doors open, and the doors open at 10 o'clock. And when at 10 o'clock, if you come even 30 minutes ahead of time, 15 minutes ahead of time, there is a large line. Now, the line you just saw is not the line to get in the store. That was actually just the line to have the employees open up the boxes, because a lot of the boxes aren't completely labeled to where you can tell what's in it. And so a lot of times they will take the boxes and you have to take it to that table so the employees can open it and then repackage it and reseal it if you decide it's not something that you want. So if you're not sure what's in it, but you're really curious and you want to know, then you can get all the things. I would recommend getting all the things first and then getting in that line and having them open it for you. This is not the kind of place where you can remember where things are. So if if you're even remotely interested in buying it, you need to just put it in your bag, and then you can decide later on if you don't want it and go through your stuff. But like I said, if you come to one of these, I would recommend showing up early. There's probably going to be a line out the door that wraps around the parking lot, and that line goes very quickly once you're inside, because you don't have to stay in line once you're inside. There's a billion bins that you can search through. You spread out over the building. There's no rhyme or reason. So there's not one bin that's better than the other. You just never know what's in each one. So when they open those doors, those people go flying, and whoo, they are a little crazy when it comes to digging in. I showed up at 10:02 and the line was already inside, which tells you that they moved fast. And so these bins and the people that go here often, a lot of times it's people that are trying to make a few extra dollars, because you can find some really nice items for only $6. For me, I had a very specific, you can't go in with a super specific list, which I know is hard for some people, including me, but you go in trying to find a general idea of what you want, and if not, you're going to come out with a billion things. So here I am going through all the items that I found that I was interested in and trying to decide, okay, what am I actually going to keep? Because this is the kind of place that you can't find the item again once you pass it, it's really important as you're going to, if you're even interested in it, go ahead and stick it in your bag. But then before you check out, stand to the side. You can't make piles, they don't let that. But if you want to stand to the side and review all of the stuff that you got and go through it and decide what you want to keep and what you don't, that's completely fine. And for me, I had a general idea of things that I wanted when I came in here, and unfortunately, I didn't find those this time around, but that's kind of just the luck of the draw. So today I put everything back, even though it was so hard. I went ahead and put it all back and only got the items these two dresses, because that was really what I had already planned to buy in a store anyway. And instead I was able to buy it here. That took a lot of restraint. I had a lot of items that, you just think throughout time that you think, oh, I would really like to find one of these. And they may have it, they may not, you just never know. And so like a sofa cover, that was something that I really was interested in, and I was really tempted to get it because we have that sofa, the love seat upstairs in the playroom, that doesn't match, but we were gifted it. It was free. Somebody gave it to us, and we thought it would be great to have in a playroom just to have something to sit on, which was fantastic, but it doesn't match. And so I was really tempted to get that khaki love seat cover, and it was only $6, which you would spend more in the store if you were to go there. However, then I started thinking, well, at some point we want to move in the future, and do I really want to spend money on something that we're probably not going to end up keeping at some point or other? So just trying to think through those things, as well as, again, asking yourself constantly, is this really worth $6? But the hardest ones for me are the fun ones. So I ended up getting my daughter the dresses, and they were only $6. So I would have spent, the tag said $20 at Target because they were Cat and Jack dresses, and they were only $6. So I spent $12 instead of $40. And including taxes, you would spend even more than that. And now they have something they can wear for the 4th of July, and they'll be matching, which is something that they always love to do. So I'm really excited that that was a good deal. I did get that because that was something I was already planning on doing. I went in with the mindset of I really wanted to find some headphones for the boys, as well as a phone cover. I really need a new phone cover because mine is broken. And what was that? Oh, and my daughter's going to a friend's birthday party, and they a lot of times have toys here that you would spend at least $25 at Target, if not more. Most of the time you end up spending $30, $35 on any kind of toy that you would buy a friend for a birthday party. And if you can find something that's similar or something that they would like here, sometimes they have Legos or all kinds of boy toys that are really fun that they would enjoy, outdoor activities, things like that. You can find them and they're only $6. So instead of spending the $30, $35, I would be spending $6 here. So just again, asking yourself, but I ended up putting most of the items back just because that wasn't what I went in there for. And I didn't want to come out with more than I had planned, which is so easy to do. So it takes a lot of restraint if you plan to go in here. Also, just know that everybody in there is very focused. There a lot of times you will find the people that go to these bin times are in there to find the high priced items and then resell them later on. So you just kind of be kind, be courteous, be one of those that is respectful of others. But just know that there are people that are going to be around you that are pretty intense. they're looking through the bins. So just kind of be aware of that. But other than that, the biggest tip that I would have if you ever go to a bin time is making sure that you give yourself a budget. Don't go in without a budget, that you're like, you tell yourself, I am not going to spend more than this, as well as really, you can't go in with a specific list, but general ideas of things that you're looking for. And that's what I have to tell myself, because otherwise I'd be bringing more clutter into my house that is not necessary, that we don't need. And I don't want to do that. I want to be very practical, very specific on things that I'm looking for. Typically they had a ton of phone cases, but I'm very clumsy. I need one that's not gonna break. So I was looking for one that was very durable. I found a couple, but I wasn't really satisfied with them. So I just went ahead and put them back. And then the headphones, typically they have a lot of electronics, but it's very hit or miss. Like I said before, you could go on in and it be like Dollar General day where there's just a lot of stuff that's not really worth $6. Or you could go in and then it's all electronics. So you don't ever really know. It's very hit or miss. This week was kind of a bust for me. I didn't really find anything that I was looking for other than dresses that they can wear for 4th of July to be able to celebrate our Independence Day. And they didn't have the headphones, which they typically have a lot of. So maybe I'll come back another day and they will be completely full. And I will say the closer you get to Christmas, the more toys you will see coming in there because people are returning toys on Amazon. So it's kind of very seasonal. Like today I saw a lot of bathing suits. So if you're willing to be patient and take the time to actually look through, there's a lot of clothing items, bathing suits. They're really hard to see because you have to stand in line and wait for somebody to open the packaging for you. You're not supposed to open it yourself or they will kick you out. So just kind of be mindful of all of those things. But I'm thankful that you guys joined me today. Thank you for joining me here at Autumn Leigh at Home. If you have any questions about bin time, say you've never been to one and you are curious about something, comment below. I'd be happy to answer. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you guys next time.